live.
That's released tomorrow.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that one's getting released tomorrow.
Good.
You guys are live.
There we go.
We're live. Oh, it went to a different link, didn't it?
We can change it.
Yeah, we can change that real quick on Instagram. Logan, copy that link and drop it in the comments.
Joe, you do look a little sexy though.
Alright.
Proud of you, Joe.
Tristan. Final word.
Dude, I'm gonna be the one typing in
So
chat
click out of
for
the chat.
questions. If
Click
I have
the
any
share.
questions.
Yep.
Because I'm sitting over
Copy
here.
link.
We all have questions. Tristan.
Go
have
to
questions.
that one.
But I think we have questions about you.
Exactly.
You can,
We actually
You-
we met
you
his dad
probably
today,
remember
so a
me.
lot of things got
Got
answered.
answered.
So a good example is Tristan's on the table getting his tattoo, and his father to say goodbye.
Talking to the mic, we're live.
While she has the needle in his butt, slaps him on his back to say "see you later," and she's like, the needle moved, and she's like, never do that again.
Yeah.
So the apple
so
doesn't fall
funny.
too far from the tree.
You have met me before. I was a dude at one event that Justin and Yuli did that one time. I was the one in the sling. So I was the one getting in everyone's way, walking around like this.
Got it.
You remember him?
Well, yeah, he annoyed me.
You do remember it.
I was so drugged up. It was crazy. That was 2 days post labor of rotator cuff.
I'm gonna post it on Instagram.
I was on like 2 pills of Vicodin and freaking stuff like that. Yeah.
Tristan, is your butt sore from your fresh
Dude,
tattoo?
it is so weird to sit right now. I'm like trying to just find a position where.
So, have you shown Castro your ass?
We all sent him a link. We all sent him a picture of it.
Through how?
Instagram.
Is he gonna see it?
Do you have a phone number for Castro?
If I did, you think I'd give it to you?
I'm on air, yes.
How about you send a picture of it to him?
How about I never own a picture of your butt?
Well, now I got 2 tattoos on my butt. The other one's
I don't want to know what the other one is.
it's a wiener.
La 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 la.
Alright, how about we do a proper introduction for Maggie here instead of talking about your ass so much?
I have a feeling that's his favorite topic.
It's one of his favorite
today.
topics first.
It is. I was told I had a nice butt today by people.
Alright, we're done talking about
Yeah,
your butt.
Tristan, you're back to mascot mode. Mascot doesn't speak.
For anybody that wants to know about Tristan's butt, it's on our Instagram story. You can go ahead and take a look. He was a baseball player for 17 years, so you can figure out what his ass looks like. Everyone that's been doing baseball for that long knows what they're working with. All right, so this is
Ew.
Maggie. Maggie Scherr, the first WFP affiliate. Well, first, we'll start with this. I met Maggie probably 3 years ago. Was when I did B3, I think, right?
It's about that long.
Yeah, and I do have to say, I haven't done many competitions, but I've been to quite a few. You put on probably the best one that I've been to, besides Pensacola. But that's just because I got to go to Florida and compete for a day.
So I have to open a gym in Florida
I think you should do
to
that.
be number 1.
You're still number 1.
Okay.
But it would help if
Okay.
you went and did if you opened one in Florida too.
I agree.
Yeah. So, aside from that, how long have you had this gym? How long have you been affiliated, or are you affiliated?
CrossFit affiliated?
Yeah.
We have been affiliated since 2012 when we opened.
Wow.
Yeah, have never not been affiliated.
Very cool. Awesome. And so you opened in 2012. What brought you to CrossFit in the first place?
Oh man, I met a personal trainer. His name's Billy Weber. I don't know if either of you know Billy.
Where's he from?
Back then he lived in the Oak Creek area,
Okay.
Milwaukee area. And he was a personal trainer at Gold's Gym, but he loved CrossFit. So he was training me completely different than everybody else was getting trained at Gold's Gym. And he just, we're gonna do Cindy, and you're gonna learn Fran. And as I'm doing pull-ups on a fully assisted machine, because they don't have a rig there, and I couldn't do a pull-up. And I loved it, and he kept training me, and he was like, listen, this gym's opening up in Waukesha. You need to quit Gold's and go to a CrossFit gym. You're a CrossFit girl. So I did. The day the gym opened, I was the very first person there. I'm the first person that ever paid, first person that ever signed a contract. And that was in November 2012. And then I became a coach in 13, and I bought it in 14.
Okay, cool. So I think it'd be helpful to kind of give people like your history prior to being a CrossFit gym owner, though, because you were pretty much like a boss chick, right?
A little bit. I just not in this arena at all. I have my master's in accounting, and I was a CFO in corporate America. Definitely couldn't have had pink hair back then, or any of the tattoos.
Yeah.
And found CrossFit while I was still in corporate America, and then left corporate America. So I bought the gym in August 2014, and I left corporate America actually 10 years ago today.
Heck,
Congrats.
Yeah,
Let's go.
10 years ago today.
Oh,
Nice.
So it's my 10-year anniversary.
Very cool. So something that that I often talk with Joe about is because like I don't know how like bought into CrossFit I am, because I don't really understand. I come from the world of powerlifting, bodybuilding, strongman, all that stuff. And we always looked at CrossFit and we were like, oh, nerds, you know what I mean? Stuff like that. We looked at it as like the fringe thing. But so you started doing CrossFit like at a Gold's Gym, and then you get to the point like 3 years later where you want to become an affiliate owner. What made you buy in so hard?
Many reasons. Number one, if I didn't, the gym would have closed. So that was a decision, you know. That
Why did you
had
want to
be
keep it
made.
open?
Because I love the gym. The one thing that CrossFit does, and you'll agree, better than anybody is honest, authentic community.
without a doubt.
I agree.
Without
You
a
guys-
doubt.
They got a front row seat to Friday Night Lights at the
Yep.
gym, which is a new thing for Justin for the most part.
Yeah.
But
Right.
Yeah, it was magical. Yeah, it
I
was,
was
cool.
walking around there, I was like, there is nothing going on wrong with CrossFit. Like, the magic is still here. We still got it in our four walls. That's what matters.
Yeah, for
Yeah,
sure.
there's only two places I've ever seen this type of culture and community, and it's church and CrossFit, not in anything else.
The
Businesses
church
are-
of CrossFit.
Are almost identical businesses.
It really is. In fact, there's a book called A Purpose-Driven Church, and I've had plenty of my coaches
Yeah.
read it. Because
They also have purpose-driven life too.
Yep, same
Yep.
author. And it's just really true. When you're focused on, when your only focus is on making your neighbor better, that's not, no knock on powerlifting, but that's not the goal of powerlifting,
Yeah,
right?
no, absolutely. Yeah.
And CrossFit is way less about self and way more about literally serving everybody
Yeah.
else around you. And it's the only experience I've ever had where the winner doesn't celebrate the winner,
Yeah.
but the winner celebrates the last place person. And you've seen that at, you know, you were at Wadapalooza.
Yep.
And you see that everywhere. There's no other culture that does that.
Yeah.
You know, otherwise the strong eat the weak, right?
Yeah.
But not in CrossFit.
So that was the part of it that like attracted you mostly to it. It wasn't like the working out. It was kind of when you got in the walls of an affiliate, you felt the affiliate.
Well, the affiliate really didn't exist because I was the only member at the very beginning.
Okay.
So there wasn't a culture. So then it was fitness.
Yeah.
But you could do fitness anywhere. I mean, you know, I'd love to say CrossFit owned fitness, but they don't. You can do fitness I learned
Right.
fitness. I learned CrossFit in a non-CrossFit gym.
You're speaking my language.
Yeah. You sound like Justin. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's true. You can
Yeah.
do fitness anywhere. I actually talk to my coaches about that all the time because when it comes to fitness, don't do anything special. There's a lot of coaches, there's a lot of personal trainers, there's a lot of ways to get someone to do a pull-up, right?
Yep.
But we get people coming back. A personal trainer actually, really can't have their clients succeed because then their job's done. A CrossFit gym owner and a CrossFit coach, we teach our athletes how to be hungry. You've never arrived. You've never gotten there. You've never achieved the ultimate there is to achieve.
Yeah.
Because, you finally got your ring muscle up. Awesome. Now string 3 together.
Okay, so I see what you're saying now. There's always like another thing to reach
There's
for.
always another carrot.
Got it. So
to
like me
chase.
as a trainer, so I'm trying to level with you because I want to understand a little bit deeper.
Right.
So
No,
me,
that's fine.
For like the business that I run or whatever, the goal for the person might be to look sexy in the mirror, to lose 20 pounds. The job's done at
Right.
some point. You're saying that there's levels to this.
Right. There's never, in fact, in the podcast I just did a couple days ago, I talked about a member who helped her lose 100 pounds.
Mhm.
Goal 1. Goal 2, fit into her wedding dress. We got her there, right? She's been with me for 11 years.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
11 years she's been with me. And CrossFit's not cheap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Paying that every month for 11 years.
Yeah.
It's not just because we lost 20 pounds, check, we're done. There's no end. There's no, I'm willing to bet you've never just been to like one of your athletes, like, yeah, you got it, cool, you're there, you're done. My
Bingo.
job is done.
Christy last night, right? Christy's lost 60 pounds in like the last 6-7 months.
Yeah.
Absolutely crushing it. She's crying. She's so happy. I turned to her. I said, "This is just the beginning."
Yeah. And how long has she been with you?
She's been off and on for about 4 or 5 years, but this last 6 months, it finally really stuck. She finally bought in, found the routine, saw the benefit, and then she just couldn't stop.
She was doing extra shit after class and stuff when I was there. Like,
Yeah.
she's crushing it. She's doing really good.
Yeah. Shout out Christy.
Do you think they come back?
Go Christy.
Do you think they come back because of you and you've been successful showing this business model? Or because of the sport itself has helped them stay here?
I think it's the community more than either of those. Sorry I don't have the heat on, but if I do, it'd be really loud.
No, you're fine. I was really hot before, and now I'm not. We just ate, so.
Is he bragging?
Yeah.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Thanks, guys.
That's great.
Anyway, it's definitely not me. I'm not the reason they come back. I am nobody special, without a doubt. It's the community. It's the fact that, even more, the community, I think CrossFit's begun to use that as kind of like a catchphrase, like, oh, it's the community, right? The definition of a community is just a group of people.
Yeah.
Like, who cares?
Mhm.
It's the culture.
Yeah.
And that's the good C word we like to use, right? It's the culture.
Yeah.
And they get to, you want to see your friends, but you don't want to let someone down.
Yeah.
Like your coach is waiting for you. And these coaches, 5 years ago, right now, they were sitting in front of a screen helping you with a Zoom class that you were doing in your garage because our gym got shut down.
Yeah.
And they're still with you today, helping you achieve whatever your next dream is. Like, how many of you can picture the person that helps you reach all of your dreams and it not be your parent?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'll say it all the time to the members where they come in, pay $189. You're not part of the community. That's like earned and worked through by breaking bread with each other, going to war with each other, and coming out on the other side together, right? We build that commonality. But I say all the time, when you pay $189,
You show
not
up.
just part of the community, there's work to be done.
Yeah. You show up. You don't, we work hard for our money. We all do, right? And you can go to a big box gym for $15 a month, and we don't care about that money. Like, none of us are going to miss. There's my 2 coffees at Starbucks, right? But when you have some skin in the game, when you're paying real money, you're going to show up. And again, just like church, you cannot be engaged. You can show up. You're still going to hear a little bit here and there. You show up, you're going to get better.
Yeah.
It might not be at the speed of the person next to you. You might be slower than this person and faster than this person.
They're both slower than me, by the way. But
I thought all you did was lift heavy things to put them down again.
You
Not
learn
for
to
3
breathe,
years.
guys.
We sassy.
Yeah. Okay, so Joe and I had a little get back and forth earlier about personally. So I've done in my business, I've done really well, and I've been able to keep clients for like years at a time because I kind of like it's more than just client to trainer; it's relationship building. And I was telling him that I think people come to CrossFit, but they stay because of him or the coach. And so what I'm hearing from you guys is like it's community over everything. But I think the first touch point is always what determines that person becoming part of the community.
May I? Oh, go.
Yeah, no, go for it.
So, culture starts from the top,
Mhm.
right?
Mhm.
In any organization, I don't care what it is. So we have to own part of that. And
We cultivate.
yeah, we cultivate. But when I started at the gym, and I'm sure it was the same with you, yes, everything was on our shoulders. And people would say things like, well, when are you going to be there? Are you coaching that class? And I started lying. I don't care what time of day it was. I don't care what. Yep, I'll be there. Yep, I'll be there. Because I just needed them to get in the door. And then they would learn they liked that other coach.
Mm.
So does it start with us? Yeah, of course.
Mhm.
Of course it does. But no gym owner will be successful if it revolves around them.
Bingo.
Yeah.
It needs
Yeah.
to revolve. I have 18 coaches.
Mhm.
18.
Yeah.
How many do you? Not a lot of CrossFit
Yeah, we have
gyms.
5, but
Right.
we're growing. Yeah.
Right. But it's not even about growing.
Yeah.
Like some people give few coaches a lot of hours.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And my model is just different. I don't have any career coaches
Mhm.
where it's their only job.
Yeah.
And so there are 18 different viewpoints.
Yeah.
There are 18 different sets of eyes that see something different.
New cues, corrections, all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot.
it's way more about I always say my clients are my coaches.
Mm.
I need to raise and grow really great coaches, and I need to support them
Mhm.
any way I can so they can go create raving fans from
Yeah.
our members.
Mm. That's a good answer.
It's the truth.
Okay, I rescind my original argument with you. Okay,
That
you win.
makes Hiller happy too.
You won. You won on that one. But I will come back with something that I will win on.
Not if I'm here.
Huh? Well, the open's done, so I can't keep winning. Okay, so
You
and
can always come here tomorrow and go against some of my athletes for the open.
I'm
if you'd
actually like I'm really committed to stuff tomorrow. Otherwise, I'd super busy. Yeah, for sure. No, she bred Sebastian jealous. Sebastian, funny enough, a few months. I think he did B3 again, right, this year. And he tagged me in something. He goes, Justin, Jacob, all you guys. I'm like, yeah, dude, not even on my best day. Like, it's not even worth the competition. Like, I'm not. No way. He's a monster.
He's unbelievable, and I cannot take credit for breeding him. I mean, he is amazing, and he's just a great athlete on his own, and
Yeah.
I'm just lucky that he'll walk in these doors from time to time.
Yeah.
You know, he's phenomenal.
Yeah, great dude. Okay, so we were talking about your first thing was that to become an affiliate owner, you did it because the gym was not going to excel. It wasn't going to succeed. So was there anything else that made you buy into CrossFit so much that you eventually wanted to become an affiliate owner?
Honestly, no, it's just the whole of CrossFit. It is the honesty and transparency and just what you see is what you get.
Yeah.
Which is really, if you've spoken to me for more than 5 minutes, you
Mhm.
know, what you see is what you get.
At
Yeah.
that stage of you buying, what was your level of exposure to the games and the sport side?
None.
None.
None whatsoever. I, in full confession, and I go to almost every elite competition there
Mhm.
is. I don't think I've spectated one event.
Yeah, me. I did one with you.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't watch. I mean, I love what they do. I
Mhm.
celebrate them, but it is not. There's no fangirling. You know, James Sprague is a great dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm glad he's a great dude. He coincidentally also happens to be a phenomenal athlete.
Yeah.
Right, but it's really my exposure to the game started in 2017, probably when yours did.
Yep.
And my very first gig with CrossFit was I volunteered for the 17.5, back when the Open was 5 weeks. Can you imagine? We'd
No.
only be halfway done with the Open right now.
17
guys.
was year of the dumbbell.
Huh?
Oh.
I would have won.
Yes, it was. So in 2017, CrossFit sent an email out to the local gym owners and said, hey, we're doing the 17.5 announcement in Madison and we need some volunteers. And I ended up being one of the people selected, and I had one of my members and one of my coaches come with me. And we ended up, me and Coach Katie, ended up being stand-ins for Katrin and Sarah, because those were the two that went head to head, for like the lighting and the sound and all of that. So we like faked the workout and walked around and did fake interviews, just so they could get spacing right and lights and sound right.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then from there, 2017 was my first time volunteering at the games, and I've worked with them every year since.
Yeah.
So, okay, I guess from the perspective of an affiliate owner, I know Joe's perspective on this, but I'd like to get yours. How?
Uh-oh.
Yeah, right. He's speaking for me.
He's
Yeah.
nervous.
Well,
Yeah. I never know what he's gonna say.
So,
Ever.
how important do you think? Because you mentioned something that there's no fangirling or anything, so this piques my interest a lot. How important do you think then is the actual sport of CrossFit to this part of CrossFit? I don't even know how to separate the two because I'm so outside of it that I feel like when I refer to CrossFit, I'm talking about it as a whole, but it seems like almost the same way that Joe describes it, you just described it, where it's like two separate entities. And I always kind of say there's like three heads to CrossFit. It's CrossFit HQ, whatever the hell that means, CrossFit the sport, and then CrossFit like what we do.
So I think I'd rather explain it this way.
Mm-hmm.
There are two sides to CrossFit. CrossFit is owned and run by CrossFit HQ. Not really owned, don't come at me about who owns
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But the boss, right, is CrossFit HQ.
Okay.
CrossFit does two things. They have health and they have sport.
Yep.
So it is one entity, health and fitness, I'll call it. That's the affiliates.
Yep.
And then there's the sport, which has grown. I mean, it was grown organically from affiliates, from athletes that got very good, and you know, let's test how good they are. CrossFit's whole philosophy is about testing and getting better, testing and getting better. Everything is on a benchmark. We record everything we do. I guarantee you, he cleans his gym for time.
Trying to set a PR for that bulldog.
Am I wrong?
Well, it's Joy that does it, but yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Joy.
You know, I have absolutely like folded laundry for time,
Yeah.
packed for time,
It's like Khalifa's AMRAP mentality.
right? That book is sitting
Yeah.
right in that room.
Yep.
And that it's that personality,
Okay.
right? And so, like me, that's my office. I work out of that office, and I am Maggie. But yet, I own CrossFit Redemption Sussex, Festivus Games. So even though that's all me, they're still separate. They still do other things.
Mhm.
And in that one, I'd be like what? I'd be like the CrossFit HQ, even though
Yeah.
I have a gym over here that does one thing, a gym over here that does one thing, and then a whole competition series
Mhm.
that does something completely different.
Right.
But it's still in that office right there.
Yeah. Okay. So would you say though that you think that the sport does so the thing that like you tell me if I'm wrong that Joe says right to or the CrossFit people right that the sport is dependent on the affiliates rather than the other way around. Do you agree with that? Was that a good
I
way
wouldn't
of
say
putting
that's
it?
wholly dependent, but one definitely doesn't exist without the other, and one can definitely exist without the other. We don't need the sport to exist. I don't think the sport can exist without us. The future of the sport dies.
If the affiliates don't continue to grow athletes, there will be nobody to compete.
You think it has to start in the box?
I don't think it's a has to, it just does.
Yeah, where
Okay.
else would it?
Yeah.
It just does. I don't know. I mean, and maybe there are. I mean, I know there's some athletes that, you know, were farmers and got strong and physically talented there and then learned about CrossFit
Yeah.
and didn't have as much work to do as I did, you know, coming on board. I'll never be a games athlete. But,
Club.
right? But they're not coming from Gold's Gym.
Sure.
You know, they're simply not.
Yeah.
They don't. And then again, back to the culture.
Mhm.
You know, I love her, Danny Spiegel. She crushes a workout and then looks at the field of play and sees someone over there struggling. This is an opponent, and goes over and go, come on, you can do this. I'm right here with you. That doesn't get learned outside of an affiliate. We aren't born with that as
Yeah.
competitors. That's not how we act, right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna crush you.
Yeah.
And that's my only job. I crushed you, cool, I'm gonna watch you suffer.
Sure.
So the affiliate is what actually makes that a thing.
Yeah.
Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, I would even agree with that. Yeah, I think that's true.
I mean, think about us. 3 of us went to war Friday night.
Yeah, I flipped you guys off and I walked out.
Hey,
4, sorry, Tristan, you were kind of like.
Oh, are
off
you
the side.
here?
But we went to war,
Yeah,
and
yeah, yeah.
I don't think any of us feel any better or any worse whether we actually won or lost. We were just as happy that we were all 40 seconds apart, pushing
Yeah.
the finish. Whether you won or Logan won or I won, like it was just fun to throw down.
I was prepared to lose.
And when we all did beat Tristan, where were we? We were cheering him on
Yeah.
on the rower.
Right, yeah.
And it's not because somebody told you,
Right.
hey,
Yeah.
by the way, would you go be polite and cheer him on?
Yeah.
Right.
You know, and it wasn't golf claps.
Yeah.
I'm certain of
Yeah.
that, even though I wasn't there.
yeah, because I was
Yeah,
talking
no.
a lot of crap. Like he should not
That's
have.
very true.
He should not have even came over by
I've
me.
already learned
And
if
Yeah.
your lips are moving, you're talking crap.
And
Yeah.
like he never should have, but like that's the community.
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like the sport side of it. I don't like when people clap for me if I'm at the end. I think that's kind of taking the mentality of what other sports kind of act like and out of the affiliate mindset of we're doing it because we're trying to prep people up. I think it's been taking this turn to I train full time, I work hard, and people aren't necessarily in the affiliate as much, which is unfortunate. I think they should be an affiliate if they're doing the CrossFit Games. Absolutely. Your barn gym, like what are we doing? You're not helping, the athlete is not helping the community with where they came from and what's there for them now. So
True, but their job changed. And I need to be honest about it. A professional baseball player is no longer hanging out with his softball team, right?
Mhm.
His job changed. And so, you know, Justin has a beautiful gym, and not you.
No, I was gonna say
Yeah.
not
Not anymore.
You know, Justin Medeiros has a beautiful gym and is not in an affiliate anymore.
right.
But his job changed.
Mhm.
You know, his focus is different. And I'm not going to knock somebody from going from amateur to pro and think that as a pro, you should be acting the same.
I say that a lot actually, because I always say CrossFit is the only sport that expects that kind of behavior from their pros. Because you go to like with the NBA or any of them, it's not like they're staying in like Tristan, what's the big basketball league that like all of our dudes are in at Edge?
Oh, the younger kids.
Huh?
The younger kids.
Yeah.
AAU.
AAU. Like they're not expecting NBA players to go AAU and just like hang out and
Right.
practice with these kids.
Right.
You know, like maybe they'll make a special appearance here and there to like kind of prop them up and be like, hey, this don't do drugs anymore, like blah blah, you know, like that type of thing. But yeah, CrossFit's the only one where like people tend to like be like, well,
Just
yeah,
like on the
anymore.
drugs
Come on, let's be
side.
honest. Every kid's doing a little bit of drugs sometimes.
Shush!
I'm just kidding.
Adderall doesn't count.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, look, that's what I was leading
They're
to.
not all like you.
I know. I only just touched the weed a little bit when I was a kid. Now, but I still the point, right? Like, I really think that, like you said, their job changed. Like, they got to do more professional things, and they can't, like, unfortunately, not unfortunately and fortunately, this is how they make their income. So if they're waiting around class times to train or have to clean up before, because the respectful thing to do would be to not train during class, that's going to impede on what they have to do to make their paycheck.
I don't think we have expectations from them to do that, but we definitely celebrate those that do it, that still do it.
Okay, that's fair.
So, yeah. So what I guess what we've seen too, and to kind of start moving conversation is like we've seen that part of the sport start moving away, and that's why we feel, or people feel, that a new league was created was for athletes, because that's what we've been hearing and seeing is like, hey, we need something for the athletes. World Fitness Project comes up, right? So we're just curious on the rec aspect, the affiliate aspect, how that is also part of a community base, because all we're seeing is this is what the athletes want to do because they're getting a paycheck now, a guaranteed paycheck, well, at least 20 of them.
So we're gonna jump into World Fitness Project. Is that where we are?
Yeah, we can do that. I kind of want to ask you first before that about, if you don't mind.
Go for it.
About like because this is something that I think about and that I struggle with a lot, and this might add to the World Fitness. I actually think it will. About the methodology of CrossFit. This is something that like I'm super curious about, right? Because I'm gonna go out and just say it. I don't think there's like an exclusive methodology to CrossFit. I think it's really good branding, and people like kind of like what you said earlier. People have been doing this stuff for years.
Let me show you how much there's a methodology. Define CrossFit.
Functional movements performed at high intensity across broad times and mobile domains.
Forgot constantly varied.
Constantly
Yeah.
varied.
There's absolutely a methodology. There's absolutely a way and a how.
Mm-hmm.
However, literally the definition of CrossFit is to always be changing and growing.
Yep.
So even though there's a methodology, part of that methodology is go learn a new sport.
Mhm.
Part of that methodology is go try something new,
Mhm.
which isn't in a nice little box in a nice methodology like you're talking about.
Yeah.
The methodology, by its own definition, is always changing and evolving, because even just, how long have you had your affiliate?
I've owned it for approaching 6. I think it's been around for 12.
Okay, so it's about as long as I've been around.
Yeah.
And when we started, men's weights for kettlebell swings 10, 12 years ago was 35 pounds.
Yep.
And then it went up,
Mhm.
and then it went up. Like, as we as athletes evolve and we push our limits and we find out what we're capable of, CrossFit, in its very nature, allows for that evolution to happen in the definition of CrossFit.
Yeah.
So there's not a take 3 steps forward, turn this way. There's not like a method,
Right.
but the methodology of it is that it will always grow with you, always push you. And that's, 100 words of fitness, go play a sport.
It's
You
like,
know?
It's like baseball. Like the average fastball velocity has gone from 90 miles an hour to now 95 miles an hour. Like that's a huge jump. You might not seem like it, but it's like the 35-pound kettlebell to the 50-pound kettlebell. It's like the athletes are evolving, stuff like that.
You just look at like
Yeah.
2010, they program Amanda, right? They're fighting for a muscle up. Khalipa's throwing 135 pounds into a camera. Now you probably have 20 members at an affiliate, at most affiliates that can probably do Amanda.
And that's why they have like new variations of Amanda,
Man,
you know, to
45.
always make
Yeah.
it harder.
Yep.
Yeah. This.
I think
this-
Justin's met his match.
No, this part. I just know that like we want.
We'll
like,
just arm wrestle and I'll win.
Yeah,
you.
yeah. I just know for a fact that like if I would take this conversation further, it would just like go way too long, because this is something that like I can't find common ground in the CrossFit world with anybody.
If nobody agrees with you, that might mean you're wrong.
No, but the thing is though, no, I agree with that. I agree with that. I agree, but however, the thing that always stunts me is that CrossFitters agree with CrossFitters. No one outside of CrossFit agrees with CrossFitters. And the reason why I can say that's so like confidently is because I'm in the world of no CrossFitters and in the world of CrossFitters.
If people outside of CrossFit didn't agree with it, then why do so many people that have never touched CrossFit think it's hard and impossible to do?
No, I think they can absolutely think that, but they still don't like. So like, I personally love CrossFit. I love to do it, but I don't. But like,
big butt.
no, huge
Tristan
butt.
big butt.
Yeah, Tristan type of butt. But the thing is about what my view of CrossFit is that it's a fun way to work out. I haven't bought into all the mumbo jumbo yet.
But just because it's fun doesn't mean it's not efficacious.
Ooh, he's using
But
big
just
words.
because it's fun doesn't mean that it is efficacious either.
Sure.
So what I'm saying is
And
like,
I don't know that if my 5 a.m. class, if you stopped in at my 5 a.m. class and said, who came in here for fun? I don't think one of them would
No,
raise
no
it.
way.
Yeah,
No
sure.
way.
We put the
I mean-
FU in fun.
I mean,
Yeah.
that's kind of like, no.
Yeah. No,
You know,
for
fun,
me it's fun.
isn't, we enjoy, in a very sick way,
Yeah.
Um,
Shared suffering.
but it is the shared suffering. It is the doing something you've never done before.
Mhm.
But if it was fun, I wouldn't be here. I mean, my version of
Yeah.
fun isn't Amanda. You know, that's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So okay, the whole reason why I ask you about like being bought into like we'll do another podcast and we'll argue about that for sure because me and Joe do weekly every single week.
It should be 3 times a week, but
Yeah,
we're working on that.
Yeah. The whole reason that I ask you about that is just because I kind of want to get your perspective on like if the methodology of CrossFit was part of the buy-in, like you drank the Kool-Aid type thing, right?
100%.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Got it. Okay. So is that what keeps you being an affiliate long term? Because I'll come from the outside perspective, right? When the whole thing with and I hate to bring this up, I know people are gonna hate this. When the whole thing with like Greg happened years ago, we were like outside of CrossFit, we were like, well, this is really stupid. Why is this guy getting canceled? Like, but we didn't have any information besides the black box stuff and whatever.
Yeah.
And so we were like, well, this is really dumb. And then we heard more about it, and then we're like, interesting. Like people do these types of things all the time, and now they're trying to cancel a version of working out. That's what we thought.
Yeah.
So what keeps you with the things that happen in CrossFit, and then even coming up to Lazar and all this stuff? What keeps you going as an affiliate? And then Joe, I want your opinion on that
Okay.
too.
Now, Joe and I have very different experiences here, but we're going to end up with the same answer, which will be pretty unique. And Joe and I have never had this talk. Joe and I have never spoken to each other this much.
Yeah, this is true.
So, but there's a picture of Greg and I in my office.
Yeah.
I was there on the side of the lake at the games this past year. So I am intimately connected to both things that you're referring to.
Yeah.
Intimately. And in ways I won't even talk about. That being said, what I love about CrossFit is you can't hide. It is what it is. You can do a pull-up or you can't. You can do these things or you can't. It is very honest about who you are.
Yeah.
And I do CrossFit and I own a CrossFit gym. Therefore, if I want to be able to say that, I am more than happy to pay them whatever they're going to ask me to pay because I believe in being a CrossFit gym. They have not done anything that I can't go do on my own. They do not own the market on fitness. I'm not going to lie about that. I'm not going to hide that. But if you look at my schedule of when I have classes, if I were a Les Mills gym, you'd see body pump at this time, and body step at this time, and body combat at this time. I own a CrossFit gym, and if I want to be able to say that, if I want to say CrossFit classes at 9 a.m., pay the man. And to me, it's just that simple. They don't own my logo. They don't own my marketing. I can do things. Do you want me to turn the heat off?
Yeah, where is the
Right behind you. And just hit the down arrow.
Where's the down? The minus button?
before they took the lead out.
Oh,
What?
Tristan.
God, that killed me.
down arrow, guys.
All right,
It's
now,
got knocked
The
down.
plus and
Okay.
the minus. It's a crazy concept. Down or up. I don't know which would be which.
sit
Okay,
down, sit down.
So they don't
remind
own
me
your
where
logo.
we are.
They don't own your logo.
Yeah.
You want to pay them in.
It's not, so it's not a franchise. I'm 100% a rule breaker. I wouldn't do well with you have to do this and you have to do this and everything needs to be perfect. But I also just believe in being honest, and I teach people CrossFit. Therefore, I need to be an affiliate to say that. When I don't care anymore about that word, I'll stop paying the affiliate. CrossFit has never said, oh, we do this and this and this and this for you. That would be a franchise.
Yeah.
I pay for the word. You just got to be patient. Heaters don't turn off in 2 seconds. It's almost done. It's just the fan.
Yeah.
What was
He's-
that?
he's scared. That's right.
But that's all it really is.
Yeah.
That's, I want to say I do CrossFit. I pay $9,000 a year because I have 2 gyms and they're both CrossFit gyms.
Yeah.
I pay $9,000 a year to them.
You think it's that worth it?
Yes,
Okay.
absolutely I do.
All right. Joe.
You know how I feel.
I do. I'm not going to argue with you guys on this because it's totally your
Yeah.
thing. Yeah.
The biggest thing I struggle with is when gyms de-affiliate, they don't change anything. They still use the C word. I just hate the like recency bias or what have you done for me lately, that they take all the good and then as soon as it doesn't feel warm and fuzzy back, all is forgotten.
Can you both give me like 2 good things that they do for you that you're like, this is absolutely worth it? What's up?
No carding camera.
We don't need a carbon camera. You guys do that. I'll
Yep,
figure this out.
I got you.
Okay, so what are 2 things that CrossFit's done for me? Is that the question?
Yeah.
Mhm.
It allows me, number one, if you've never gone through a CrossFit certification, if you've never gone through a level 1
Mhm.
weekend or a level 2 weekend, the training that happens in that is phenomenal.
Mhm.
And I'm certified in other things outside of CrossFit, and the training in that is bar none better than anything else.
I agree completely.
Again, the methodology, being able to say I am who I am is very important to me because I just am that honest and transparent. Number 3, in the past, oh Joe, I don't know, 3 years maybe, they really have changed. They really are starting to support. They just released, I don't know if you follow the marketing, but 6 different videos, professional
Yes.
videos that they've made
Mhm.
that they've released to the affiliates. And you can either take the one they made for you.
Toolkit marketing.
They took another one that they kind of like white boxed the bottom and you could put your own words in it, and they gave you one which was just the film and you could put your own words on it.
Mhm.
They're now providing us
Yeah.
marketing and they're now providing us tools.
Yeah.
What
Yeah.
about you?
I mean, keep bringing it up, but Friday Night Lights, right? CrossFit brings that open experience, everyone coming together to celebrate the same thing year over year, and keeps us honest to that. Right? Not everyone competes or seeks competition, but the open's that little touch point and taste that all keeps us a little more honest in our training, and I love that we can rally behind that. And CrossFit is what gives us that.
Okay, the juice now. So, WFP. How did everything happen?
With me and
Yeah,
them?
yeah.
And we're talking on the affiliate side, not the competition side.
Are you part of both?
Yes.
Start wherever you want to start.
Competition side is really simple. I will be working for them and doing stuff that I do at all competitions. So that's pretty simple. So,
Hold on one second.
You're good. I can still hear.
You're
good.
here?
You're good.
On every
Cool.
mic?
Yeah, where's
Test.
Every mic, we're good? Okay,
Awesome.
we're good. The mixer's right here. It was
Yeah, I
probably,
got you.
looked like it was just out a little bit. Okay. So you're part of the competition side and
Right. But that's just, I mean, I you know, have worked with Wadapalooza, Rogue Invitational, CrossFit Games. It's just another one that I'm a part of.
okay.
The affiliate side started, I know Will, I know Saxon, I know Maggie and Ryan husband, and some of them I know better than others.
LRX?
Yeah,
Oh, he's part of the WFP?
yeah.
I had no idea. He's part owner, or what's the deal with that?
You can talk to them about exactly how ownership
Okay,
works,
yeah.
but absolutely.
Wow.
Yep.
Cool. Cool.
And you know him.
Yeah, I know him.
And I have been friends with Maggie for years, years and years, and am also good friends, obviously, with her husband. And now that you said that, I think you would agree that if he said, "Hey, I got something," you'd be like, "Oh, dude, I trust you and think you're phenomenal. I'm on board."
Yeah, I mean, he's a good dude.
Yeah.
So yeah, for sure.
And so when they told me about the affiliate thing, I think we were at Wadapalooza, possibly. I'm not positive, but let's say I was. They, it was like, yeah, let's hop on a call, right? So Maggie scheduled a call with me, and it was with Maggie, Saxon, and Bella, and myself. And they were just like, let me tell you what we're thinking of doing, you know? And one of the reasons, and Maggie laughs at me all the time, is because I have a big mouth, and I don't really care about your feelings that much. I'm gonna ask the hard questions.
Yeah.
And so I did, like, how are you gonna make this worth it for an affiliate? Do we have to, like, I'm a CrossFit gym, I'm not changing that. I'm not changing that for you or anybody else. And they were like, cool, we don't want you to. You know, so that was neat. And it was, I think it started out more as a, here's an idea we have. I know Maggie will punch a bunch of holes in it because she's just mean that way. And I think we were scheduled for a half-hour call, and we were on for like an hour and a half. We went through everything, and authentically, and I mean this, and now that you know Ryan's a part of it, I think you know how authentic
Yeah.
the group must be if Ryan and Maggie are going to be
Yeah,
a
I
part
agree
of
with
it,
you. Yeah.
without a question.
I mean, I know Jason knows it too, and I feel like, in my opinion, anything that he's a part of, I can also get from him. Because
Right.
I like Jason.
100% Jason is a good man. And I completely agree, right? So when you have that caliber of people behind this, and it's not like I had to sign a 10-year contract and pay $1 million to get into it. It was, they told me what they wanted to do. I pushed back hard on some stuff. Like, to the point of, we have to talk about that and we'll get back to you. I did not sign on the dotted line on the first day. And all they want to do is exactly what they want to do with the competition side, and they've been super open about that. All these people, all these keyboard warriors, all these people that think they know CrossFit, the sport, are like, we need to professionalize the sport. We need to professionalize the sport. We need to find more opportunities for athletes to make money. So cool. We're going to professionally provide more opportunities for the athletes to make money.
Yeah.
They are, I thought the dates they picked were phenomenal. The only one that was kind of a little rough is their first one, because it's the same weekend as the French Throwdown.
Yeah.
But there's only so many weekends in a year. Things are going to overlap.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll tell you a story about that next. But their other two dates are really respectful to the games. They really built it in a way that they get to.
I got you.
Right?
Sorry.
So you truly believe that they can cohabitate?
I don't see why they can't.
Okay.
I really don't see why they can't. And I mean, I know people are talking about. We'll get to the whole affiliation thing.
Yeah.
But you know, for this project competition side of things, their goal is to just provide the athletes with a professional money-making opportunity.
Yeah.
And they're doing that, and they've literally put their money where their mouth is,
Yeah.
and they're showing it. Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. So now on the affiliate side, what do the affiliates talk about? That they want support, that they need more opportunities, that CrossFit doesn't do anything for them. So here's a company going, we're not CrossFit. We're not going to give you a methodology. We're not going to give you workouts, but we're going to help you make more money, and we're going to provide more competition opportunities at an affiliate level. Like you've talked about Friday Night Lights, I think 3 times
Yeah.
in this conversation.
Yeah.
You have bought into it.
Yeah.
So in the rec league, what that is a Friday Night Lights type competition once a quarter, every quarter.
What was the old box league they used to have? Trodo? Do you remember what that was?
Nope.
Man, this was probably 2013 and 14. It was like a rotating box league at different affiliates.
Yeah. I don't
Yeah,
remember.
okay.
But, here's somebody that's like, everybody loves the open. Everybody loves this one time, one workout competition. So let's provide that. And the way it's going to happen is by different domains or different workouts that they plan. And they will also tell you what that domain is.
Okay.
So let's say, let's just be nice to this guy. Let's say it is
You don't gotta be nice to me.
strongman type stuff, right? Powerlifting stuff, or high rocks, because that's the big word right now, or Olympic lifting.
We should get into high rocks at some point.
Right? So any of those, it's going to be a workout with a focus. And then we will know, and how they do it, we're building it as we go.
Yeah.
So I don't know what it's going to look like, but I do know that 6 weeks leading up to that one day, we get the opportunity. They're not doing programming. They're not NC Fit. They're not Mayhem, right? But they're going to give us programming for once a week
Okay.
to focus the training on that domain or
Okay.
that style of workout. And so you get to have your Friday Night Lights once a quarter. And I think that's great.
Yeah.
Because we train better when we have a reason to
Yep.
train.
100%.
In Festivus games, and there are people, you can go on my community page, that have knocked me because we release the workouts 4 to 5 months early. And they're like, well, how is that unknown then, right? If you release it. Well, let me give people a reason to practice. Let me give people who can do everything else in their division but double unders 5 months to work on their double unders or to get their first pull up, right? And this is the exact same type of concept. Instead, because let's be real, open is fun,
Yeah.
but probably nobody in your gym is using it as a tool to get further. Okay?
Yeah.
I do have a couple people in my gym that are, but that's not ever been the case any other year but now. And great for them, but for everybody else, this is just fun. And it's that one opportunity to go, how did I do last year? Last year I ranked 10,942, and this year I'm 8,321. Like, that's what they get to
Yep.
see, right? And this rec league is going to provide that opportunity every quarter.
So, sorry. So, how do you explain to them then, your members, of we have a community within CrossFit where we do the open, but we're also having this community somewhere else? One's bred in the methodology and what we've built over the last how many years, and this one we're still building, and we're going to take trust in it. It's because of the people that are running it that you trust this is going to happen.
Are you talking about like what I'd say to my members?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. I haven't moved. I haven't changed. I'm still my gym.
Mm-hmm.
And when we do workouts, not every workout we do is we're going to do some gymnastics, some endurance, some Olympic weightlifting, right? It is always different. We'll have focuses. And so it's the exact same thing. I'm just giving them one more competition, one more reason to train. Just like the open, you could do Friday Night Lights every Friday if
Yeah.
you wanted. You could just take your Friday programming and go, hey, bring stuff. We're going to eat after and have
Yeah.
a beer.
Yeah.
So we don't need CrossFit or World Fitness Project or anything else to do this. But any affiliate owner that works in their affiliate that cares about this, we are all tired and we are all not adding another thing onto our plate.
Yes.
And that came up when I spoke with them, because I was like, so how is this going to get marketed? Well, we don't want to tell you. I'm like, no, you got to tell me, because I don't want to create another image. The image I announced that you saw, or did you tell him? Somehow you found out, whatever. So there's an image online with my logo. They created that for me.
Yep.
Like, I didn't even do that. And because I was real clear, I was like, listen, I love you guys and I trust you, so therefore I'm willing to give it a shot, but not for more money, like more time, more energy. I don't have it.
Yeah.
My guess is you don't have it to give.
Our bandwidth is limited.
Do you
Yeah.
think this is going to bring in new members then, saying we're part of a rec league, just like we were saying we're a CrossFit affiliate, kind of got people in the door because it was something different? Is this something you think you could promote that way too?
I have no idea. That really depends on how good World Fitness Project is on marketing. So, and I have to tell you, there are so many people online right now trashing World Fitness Project, and that's fine. There's somebody trashing everybody. But about this whole affiliation thing, years ago, I want to say before COVID, it definitely was before COVID, NC Fit did an affiliation model
Yeah, they
where
did.
you could be an NC Fit gym. I did that. I did it for a year because I really like Jason. I like who he is as a man. We've used their programming for a long time. Excuse me. And so I tried it, got nothing out of it. So after my year, not trashing it, it just
Yeah.
didn't work for me. Nobody new came in the door. And it was just kind of business as usual. So I tried it for a year, gave it a shot, and was like, this affiliation doesn't really work for me. But all of them, you can do it with Mayhem, you can do it with NC Fit, you could do it with Proven. They all have affiliation programs. But none of them are going, we are going to make you stop doing CrossFit. Even when I did NC Fit, I was like, I'm staying affiliated. And back then I was CrossFit Waukesha. I hadn't
Yep.
rebranded yet. And they were like, cool, you can do whatever you want. If you'd like, you can be NC Fit. You could be NC CrossFit Waukesha if you'd like. And I'm like, nah, I'm going to keep CrossFit Waukesha. And they were, because really, I'm in Wisconsin. And if somebody was like, what's NC? And I'm like, well, Northern California.
Yeah.
Doesn't make much sense, right? So this is just another affiliation. I hope it works. I hope it works because I think affiliates need more tools in their toolbox. I think everyday athletes need something to train for, because I think you'd agree, when people don't have a purpose, they fall off. Maybe it's training. Maybe it's losing 20 pounds. What was the other one? Maybe it's looking good naked. Maybe it is health reasons. But if there's not a thing, they fall off.
Yeah.
Well, the thing we see, and what I've seen from watching all the news on CrossFit from all the different platforms, is that this was created because athletes left a community that they didn't feel was right for them anymore, right? And they're moving to something else that they can get a money grab for $100,000, right? That's what we think it is at this point, for 20 of those athletes. So how do, if any members ever ask, or if you've had any, be like, okay, so how we can get behind something that people are leaving a community to move on to something else, even though we're still with it?
I think you have wrong information.
Okay.
Can I add to that? So this is what I'm hearing, kind of. You tell me if I'm wrong. Do you view this as more of like an athlete thing or an affiliate-based thing? So is this going to help athletes more or affiliate? Who's the focus on?
When you say athletes, are you referring to mine or pros?
Pros.
Just like you were like, I can't quite separate CrossFit, the games, from the affiliate, exact same thing.
That's fair.
I think the pros will absolutely have an opportunity to make more money. I know some pros that are doing both. It does not need to be one or the other. And there are some pros that are doing both. They did not. World Fitness Project, think of all the polished graphics you're seeing and all the things they've done and the people they've already signed. Do you really think they were just like, oh crap, all these people are leaving, let's form a company real quick?
That's what it seems like.
That's just because you just started hearing about it, but how much work did they do before you started hearing about it in order to get everything ready?
I think it'd be kind of impossible for it to go that way, to be honest.
Right. So it's not reactionary in the way of these people don't want to be in the CrossFit Games anymore because they have lost faith in CrossFit. World Fitness Project was more like, and again, I can't speak for them. I am not part of the leadership organization.
Yeah, totally.
But you all see what they say online, and it has been, there's a need. We want to help professionalize the sport. That can't happen when there's only one. There's not only one football league. There's not only one anything, right? There needs to be more if these athletes that are working so hard want to get paid. And it's not going to happen if only the top 3 people at the games get money. Those 20 people are getting money. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a thing we've seen. I guess it's not a complete reaction of like, oh, this one season happened, we need to move on from what happened last year. I think CrossFit has been they were going to a negative space after the COVID years, and people were like, hey, we need to move on from this. We need to find something else. I think that's what's maybe was a catalyst to wanting to start something new. I do agree that there should be multiple things going on. You know, the WWE has that kind of realm, and so does UFC and such, which promotes them, maybe helping CrossFit, you know, making them make better decisions as a headquarters for athletes. But what we mainly see is that it was for the athletes because they are actually getting a paycheck, and those are the headlines we're seeing. So,
And that's great. I mean, I want anybody, you know, I want to get a paycheck. I want you to get a paycheck. I want you to have more clients and you to get a paycheck. I don't know what you do, so I can't speak to that.
you
but,
pay me.
But right?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Taxes.
But why can't we all be successful? And the athletes are all going for, you know, the same endorsements and there aren't that many competitions, right? We have Wadapalooza, there's a few, don't get me wrong, but really, do we have that few athletes that we can't have more competitions?
I feel like we really have rogue in the games if it's a real payout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and Wadapalooza's done a great job. They have TFX has done a great job. There are so many that provide that opportunity, but a lot of them are on a regional level. A lot of them are not international. And World Fitness Project saw a few gaps and said, hey, let's fill that on the competition level. But again, I'm not here to speak to that. I'm seeing it just as you guys do. The only difference I have is knowing Ryan and Maggie so well. But
And those updates, do you guys now have like, hey, since we're building it, are you helping them with like a monthly call? Are you guys doing stuff like, hey, we're going to meet up at this time
I
and
signed the
talk about-"
papers 2 weeks ago. I have no idea.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
We are growing this. I have full confidence in the fact that I'm heard. Full confidence in the fact that I'm heard.
They're starting with 50 affiliates, correct?
50 affiliates. And
But are you heard because you're the first one? And then when it gets to 50, do you think you'll still be heard?
50 isn't that many, yeah. I mean, I'll go back to Festivus. I have 105 hosts right now. Every single one of them will tell you they feel heard. So I'm grateful because, quite honestly, the first time we spoke, Saxon was like, I don't know what's going to happen. What if we end up having 100,000 affiliates tomorrow? Who knows? And my reaction was, oh, please don't. Like let's get a good system. Let's figure out who you are. I want to be on board with that.
Yeah.
And then, figure out what you're doing. And no, this wasn't my idea. It's not like I was like, it has to be 50. Don't get me wrong. It was just, how cool would it be to have a controlled group that you can go, oh, we made some mistakes, but we only made them with 50.
Yeah.
We have to learn.
Yeah.
Like, they are not saying they have all the answers, and they are not saying that they know exactly what's going
Yeah.
on. You haven't seen that anyway.
I mean, Metfix is rolling it out similarly. I think they did
Right.
100 to start.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you apply for Metfix?
No.
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 You're friends with Greg, so I just was trying to.
Yeah, I
Big
mean,
range.
I know I've met Greg. I
Yeah.
wouldn't say I'm friends
Okay,
with Greg.
fair.
But I've met Greg and again, Greg is great, and what he's done for fitness, not another person ever has.
Yeah.
And I don't know that anybody will ever touch this. But if something was broken before, I don't know that I would jump on it the second time around. You know, just
Yeah.
honestly. I hope it goes great because I think he's a genius man. And maybe in the future I'd look at it.
Yeah.
But right now, it's just too close to CrossFit that I have no need for it.
Yeah.
You know, World Fitness Project has said nothing to me, just full transparency, nothing to me about we're going to offer programming or we're going to offer a methodology or they were like, I love that you love CrossFit. Because I was like, I
Yeah.
am not leaving CrossFit. And they were like, cool. you know,
Yeah,
every
so-
single one of them is like, what do you think I was built on? You know, they were all built on.
So would you say it's more of like, I really trust you guys. It's $2,000. What do we really have to lose?
1,000,000%.
Yeah.
Okay.
I said, I will give you a year. I am excited to partner with you because I don't know too many people better than them as humans.
Okay.
And I trust them to do right. I just do. If they don't, I'll walk away.
Yeah.
You know, full transparency. There's an Instagram, me and some guy are going back and forth because he's like, they were demanding.
You gotta stop with these keyboard warriors. Don't even pay attention.
I don't often, but there's also like, when you're ignorant, you're ignorant.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
You know, and this guy was like, what was he saying? That how can you say you support CrossFit, but yet you were demanding exclusivity with athletes? I'm like, but they weren't.
I think Victor Hoffer slipped up, and I think that's kind of what started that. Is there was a conversation I think Victor Hoffer said, in a way you can't do both, but I know that English isn't his first language, and so
And I don't know, but this is what I'll tell you about Maggie and Ryan, which
Yeah.
is what you and I were talking about. I called Maggie
Yeah.
and I said, did you do this? And she was like, absolutely not. And this was before I responded. I said, may I respond with that? And she said, absolutely, you may. Well, I did, and then somebody brought up his name. I forgot his name till
Yeah.
you just said it. And I called her again. And I said, listen, let me be very clear. You know I love you. You know I trust you. You know I'm here. But if I find out that this did happen, I'm out. Like, I am aligning with you because I trust you. And she said, 100%. I will research it even more. I will make sure that somebody else
Yeah.
didn't say something that I don't know about. That's how transparent they're being with me. That's amazing. You think
Yeah.
anybody at CrossFit would have taken my call? Get
No.
real.
Yeah.
Get real.
yeah.
I think it's really important too for the viewers watching right now to know that we know Maggie in capacity, and like she's also not a bullshitter. So for anybody that may, I don't know if this is happening, but
Yeah.
anybody in the comments that may be thinking like that there's smoke or something like that, trust me, I trust Maggie with every word she says. I've never heard or seen a lie come out of her. So yeah, and you know, I think that a lot of people look at another league coming out as being like a threat towards the thing that they fell in love with, which, and if they're not offering a methodology or whatever it is, and it's like $2,000 from what it sounds like, it's so that you have a quarterly thing that your people can buy into, kind of like an open
Yep.
every quarter. Dude, I don't see anything wrong with
I
that
think the
either.
issue
And let
is
me
that
tell
we-
you one more. So what did it cost to go in the open?
$20.
$20, right? How much of that did you see?
None.
Okay, you
Well,
will.
I think it's $1.37. So there's some sort of funding that's coming back through the community cup. If I win,
If you win.
there's
If you
there's
win.
something, but not much.
There is a kickback for
Okay.
every single person that registers for a rec league
Nice.
back to the affiliate. I'm never going to get rich on it. They're charging $25.
Yeah.
If they gave me the whole $25, it's not going to
Mm-hmm.
make my business, right? But the fact that they hear all of the complaints,
Yeah.
the fact that they know athletes need to get paid more and more consistently, that affiliate owners, why do affiliate owners bust their butt to get people to register for the Open for CrossFit to make more money? Affiliate owners don't make any of that.
No.
Well, they heard that and said, okay, you're going to get a part of that because I agree with you.
Yeah.
How much? Do we know how much yet?
I think $5, but don't
Yeah.
quote me on it.
So you
I
think
mean,
it's
again,
more-
even if it was all of it, it's not going to make you rich.
Just right now, people more so it's the theory of people fear what they don't understand. And because we don't understand what WFP truly is yet, because it is so new, right? It's more of that.
I really, really believe it.
Yeah.
I would, and again, you guys have known me for a long time, and you know my better than he does because you're literally in CrossFit.
Yeah.
You know my reputation, and why would I do it?
Yeah.
Why?
That
would
was
I
my
do it?
biggest question when I saw it.
Yeah.
I said, I got to know where Maggie's head's at. I want to know what got her on board. Because again, we'll put your CFO hat back on. It's hard to look at this and what they're trying to pay and how are they going to sustain it? How is the revenue going to work, right? They have supposedly 15 million. We saw how much money Grid League blew through. Is there are they able to finance this long term?
Guess we'll find out, right? The good news is every time another person does it, right? The CrossFit Games, Grid League, High Rocks, I don't care what you pick, any competition, they get better. They learn from everybody else's mistakes. What was the competition a few years ago? It was almost exactly 3 years ago that couldn't pay out the athletes they promised they would.
Europe?
I think so.
Yeah.
And they couldn't pay the athletes.
Atlas Games?
And they fold. I don't remember.
Yeah, I think
you
it's
could
Atlas
say it and I wouldn't know. And they folded.
Yep.
Right? They couldn't pay their athletes. You don't think that World Fitness Project took a note from that playbook and, other people didn't take notes from those playbooks?
Yeah.
Do I know how they're going to do it? No. I don't know. I don't need to know. What I do know is that these are people that have been in the space. These are people that are of exceptional moral standing. And I will say that. I love that you're just like, yep, got nothing else to say.
I mean, he's
there.
like a pretty devout Christian, so
Yeah.
I would.
It's
Not that that's always like the most moral people, but I've also been able to spend time around Ryan. So and Jason, I've spent quite a bit of time around. So
yeah, and I would absolutely put my trust in Ryan, Maggie, Jason. I just met Bella, but already just the authenticity.
Who's Bella?
She's one of the owners also.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
And if you watch the Women's Day video of all the women in World Fitness Project saying Happy International Women's Day, she's one of them.
So I got to ask you real quick. Somebody commented this, and
Awesome.
I have my take on it. Why do you think that athletes get or deserve to be paid more and more frequently? I have a take on this too. That's probably aligned with yours, but I'll let you go first.
I don't think there's so any other professional sport, like you get into football, anything else, they're signing long-term contracts where they know what their paycheck is going to be for people.
Yeah.
CrossFit doesn't have that.
Yeah.
And quite often, the only big payout is the CrossFit Games.
Yeah.
So why do people deserve it? Because they're working their butt off for it. And if they'd like to make it their profession, then they need to get paid.
Yeah.
It's just, nobody should get a free paycheck. Not you, not any of us should just, I'm not going to do anything and take a paycheck. But they are working hard and they are, let's say there's 100 athletes. You think there's 100 endorsements for each of them? They're not getting paid if they're not doing their work.
Right.
World Fitness Project is providing them 3 more opportunities in a year to do their work. That's
Yeah.
awesome.
And I wouldn't-
I hope there's more companies that do it.
I wouldn't say so much that it's a deserve. That's a weird way to frame it too, right? Because I don't even deserve to get paid what I get paid. It's like I put in the work and I ask for that cash, right? And if people find value in it, then they'll give me the value from it, or they'll take the value from it and pay me what they believe it's worth. And so with these athletes, I think that if you're a fan, if you're somebody that wants to see them be a professional athlete, then they do deserve to get compensated for it. And you can't expect them to compete at the level that you want to watch. Like, it's kind of like almost like the steroids argument in sports, right? Like, if you want to see that ball get hit 100 yards, then you better let them get on the juice. So if you want to see these CrossFitters do the thing, if you want them to do the thing, then you better pay them to do the thing, right? And if you don't, okay, then you just lose the sport. But I think it's interesting because CrossFit is one of those like things where people are so flip-floppy. They go back and forth from professionalizing the sport. No, don't professionalize the sport. Wait, let's professionalize it this way, but let's not professionalize it this way because this way makes me feel uncomfortable and doesn't feel so at home anymore.
100%. And so now we have an organization that said, we're going to come out professional from the get-go, and we're going to pay. And, do I know how they're going to sustain it long term? No, that's none of my business, right? I don't know how CrossFit has sustained. That's also none of my
Well, I think
business.
the Games has openly admitted that it's not sustainable. Thankfully, the affiliates keep it going because the Games is a net loser financially.
Right.
Yeah.
But how they've been able to sustain that for so many years,
Right.
I don't know. It's also none of my business.
Right.
Right. I stay in my lane and I don't need to know their financials. It's shocking to me that the public thinks they have the right to know any company's financials.
Yeah,
Just
that's
to
weird.
be perfectly honest. Like, I don't give a darn.
You don't give a financial
Oh, we
report
almost
to
had a
every.
second swear.
Almost got me. But right, like you said, 15 million people are talking about 100,000. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't care. I didn't ask Greg how he got his money to start. Like, none of my business, right? The companies I was a CFO for, how they started and how they got to where they got, or when money was tight and I had to kind of go to the boss and be like, oh, I got to make payroll. Can you get me 30 grand?
Yeah.
I didn't then go, where'd you get that 30 grand from? I want to know. I'm shocked at all of these keyboard warriors wanting to talk about their money. Like,
Right.
they have money. As long as they pay out and don't do what happened in Europe,
Yeah.
then what does anybody care?
Yeah, that is weird to me too. It's like if somebody wants to come in the space and say that the athletes do deserve it, who
And
are
they're
you to
going to
be like,
pay it? Yeah.
and it's like, who are you to be like, don't spend your money on them? Like, I should be able to tell you what to spend. It's like, dude, no. If some Joe Schmo wants to come and give me 80 grand to podcast,
Yeah.
okay, yeah, I'll take it. Like, I'm not going to question you at all about that. You know?
You mean you're not going to allow people to type in and be like, where'd you get that 80 grand from?
Right, yeah.
I mean,
Well, me personally, I'd probably just be, yeah, somebody gave it to me.
Yeah.
Somebody gave me 80 G's. That's it, you know?
well, where
So-
did they get it from?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
no, it's no different. I would dare somebody to hop on my Festivus page and ask me how I pull that off. You know, real quick, they'd get a none of your business.
Yeah.
Yeah, a question for you, Maggie. So back to what you said about what CrossFit does for you when it comes to the open and the money. We talked about World Fitness Project. Doesn't getting your members to sign up for the open, doesn't that create the buy-in you want for them to keep coming back to do an open? And since it happens annually, getting
No.
them to get better so they can see a better score the next year, working with them for a year?
No.
We talked about this last week.
No, I say that to members. I'm like, for $20, why don't you see where you rank with strangers? Because we all know where we rank inside of our gym. So for $20, you get to see where you rank on the worldwide leaderboard. But that doesn't create buy-in. That's just a fun additional metric.
Do you think you could use that to create buy-in for them to come back and stay with you?
No.
They're already bought in.
No, yeah, they do the open because they're bought in. They
Yeah.
don't buy in because they do the open.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the other way around.
Okay.
Would you agree?
Yeah. I mean, I kind of had to work my way around to that, but yes.
Yeah.
We're creating that buy-in, they're doing it, and then they get to celebrate what
Their
they're doing on the
success.
leaderboard.
Yeah, it's kind of almost like on a very, very amateur level. It's kind of like we've been training this whole year,
Yep.
and this kind of becomes like the let's see what we can do. One of my members, her name's Becky, just posted in Facebook. God, I wish I could find it, but I'm not even going to look. She posted the workout for 25.3, and she said, "This is my 5th open, and this is the first time I felt worthy to be here, and I felt like an athlete."
Wow.
And that's not because she didn't train for the whole year because she was going to do the open. She did the open because she trained for the whole year.
Yeah.
Now, in her 5th open, she finally feels like she's worthy enough to be there.
So like full circle, we have Christy. Christy competed at your competition. You released your workout way ahead of time. She trained for months to try to get a ring pull up. Trained and trained and trained and trained and trained. Came here, didn't get it. But what she did get was all of the chest to bar completed in 25.2.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the magic of
Yeah,
CrossFit.
right.
And that's what keeps getting us geeked out and nerded
Yeah.
on this stuff is that's what happened. So no, not one of my members is like, they're not telling me now, oh, I'm training for the 2026 Open. Not one of them.
Yeah. So Joe and I talked about this, I think last week, and I told him, I was like, cause I've always like had the question, like, does the Open, because he has, he believes that CrossFit does a lot for the affiliate. And I believe that it's the opposite. The affiliate does more for the HQ, the business or whatever. And I'm like, so what does the Open do for you, right? And for me, it's like, he's like, it provides this opportunity, which I do believe because I saw the magic of the Open last night. It provides me this opportunity to get my, my members in and we get to do this big thing. And I'm like, but Joe, you guys could do that all the time.
We just talked about
Yeah. It's like, yeah, because I side with you. I tend to side with you on this where, yeah, the people are bought into, let's even say the methodology. I'll give you guys in this argument, right? They're bought into the methodology, right? And, or they're bought into the community, whatever it is. So the Open is just like another thing that they get to be like, oh, that's a sweet touch point. Like every year I get to do this cool thing. But I think it's really cool that the WFP, sorry guys, has every quarter you get to do something like that.
No, I
Because
agree. That's good.
I think that people like last night, your members who are like everyday average Joes for the most part, right? They get to feel like an athlete for like 3 weeks out of the year.
Yeah.
And everybody has that scratch to itch. I really truly believe that. And so now with the WFP, if you get it every quarter, shoot, dude. Like I think it would almost make people like, I'm here.
I think doing it every quarter provides way more buy-in than once a year.
Yeah.
And so where your question, I said, no, your question was reversed. WFP might change that because none of us look forward to a year. None of us do. We might have like some goals, there's a lot of gyms have goal boards and it's, I want to get my first strict pull-up in 2025 or something like that. But they are not focused on 2026 Open. But if something, so my last Festivus Games was October 5th. By October 15th, people were asking me for the workouts for April. No joke. Okay, because that's only 6 months away. Now imagine if it's only 3 months away.
Yeah.
And then 3 months for your next one, and then 3 months for your next one.
So would you then use that for leverage then? Because before you said you wouldn't use the Open for leverage for people to be coming
Right.
back. You think a quarterly basis would be a leverage?
I do, especially because each one, as I said, is going to be heavily weighted to a specific domain. And so people that aren't great at Olympic weightlifting get to really focus on it for
So
that
that
and
could
train
almost
a weakness.
correlate to like quarterly mesocycles of training. Like you're building for something
Absolutely.
specifically. I will agree that is a cool way to approach competing.
This is how people train in the real world.
Right.
Like,
But you know that our gym will be doing 3 months
Yeah,
of strength
no, I-
bias because
but you're-
we're coming out of the Open, which
Yeah.
capacity is king.
Yeah.
Now we're going to try to put on strength, and then we're going to try to put that strength into Olympic weightlifting,
Yeah.
so apply skill. And then we try to tie it all mixed modal,
Yep.
and then we go back to the Open, which we know capacity is king.
Yep.
So yes,
I believe you're a
should be
diamond
having
in the rough, though.
mesocycles, but Yeah.
So like in the powerlifting world and strongman. In strongman, it's kind of like CrossFit. I actually think CrossFit and strongman are the same sport. It's just one's not super juiced. They're still juiced, but they're not super juiced. Yes, CrossFitters are on steroids. I'm saying it. No one else here is. One is extremely juiced. The other one isn't. And one is more cardio heavy than the other one. But the thing is with strongman in the strength world, even bodybuilding, is like you understand where your season is at all times. And you have competitions that are months out from each other. You specifically train for that thing. This is something that I think that if they're giving you workouts ahead of time, I understand the methodology of CrossFit is the unknown and unknowable, blah, blah. Let's just toss that to the side real quick. But I think that to the point of the WPF and, you know, to getting people excited for things, I don't think it's going to be a buy-in, but it's going to have people stay because they're always getting ready for something.
There's always something on the
Yeah,
horizon,
exactly.
and I think that's huge. It's exactly the same reason that people are immediately asking me for the next
Yep.
workouts for Festivus.
Yeah.
Right? They always want to have something to chase. So every quarter,
Yeah, that is a cool concept.
they have a goal. And World Fitness Project heard complaints. The biggest complaints in CrossFit, money. Whether it's the athletes getting treated well and getting paid, whether it's why does CrossFit take all the money from affiliates? So here's World Fitness Project saying, hey, we're going to give you a cut of what you're helping us get.
Yeah.
Like, okay, you heard a complaint and you're answering it.
How much of that buy-in that you have with them now is based on what happened last year
What happened last year?
with the death of Lazar?
Nothing.
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 That didn't change anything from what you thought, like, hey, I need to move with them, work with them.
The death of Lazar has nothing to do with why I'm with World Fitness Project, if that's your question. Yeah, no. It's they have nothing to do with each other. I can't even speak to it because it has nothing to do with each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just curious, because a lot of people see that as something that was so big in the space, and that people would jump ship because of that.
People did jump ship because of that. Whether I agree with that or not is not for this conversation by far. But people jump ship because they didn't like the way Greg spoke and left. I mean, the cancel culture is ridiculous. And what happened with Lazar is beyond horrible. Beyond horrible. It was a horrible tragedy. But if I really lost buy-in because of that, that would equate in me de-affiliating or me no longer working for the games. That still has nothing to do with World Fitness Project.
Yeah, I think it's really important to like restate for maybe the people who are just in the conversation or came in late. Maggie has been affiliated with CrossFit, has not at all gotten rid of her affiliation in 12 years.
Yep, since 2012.
Yeah, so she's staying through and through. She's obviously committed to the craft. So,
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and committed to the lifestyle. So yeah, that's good.
So just because I've joined World Fitness Project does not at all mean that I'm leaving CrossFit.
Yeah, I think this is a really cool perspective, actually.
Yeah.
That it's somebody who, like, you're the first one.
Yep.
And you set your boundary of, I don't want to get rid of my CrossFit affiliation. I'm going to keep it. I'm going to ask you all the questions, and then just join it because you're like, why not? And
You
just see
know,
what happens. And
How
the financial
many things
stuff.
have we thrown money away on?
Yeah.
Right? How many new pieces of equipment, or we're going to try this programming or this new shiny thing?
Mm-hmm.
Giving them a year to, is it a gamble? Absolutely. But would you gamble on Ryan?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah. You probably know him better than I do, but.
But would you
from-
gamble on him from how you know him?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when you think about that, when you think of, I've met Don Fall. I have pictures with Don Fall. I've had real conversations with Don Fall. But I don't know him. I would not buy into him because I don't know him as a man. I don't know him as a person.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe I have a little bit of an in because I know these guys.
Yeah.
And so great. So that's what made it easier for me to become the first. But I'm still not going to throw money on somebody I don't trust, as
Yeah.
I said, but these people are trying to do something great. They are either going to succeed or they're going to fail. I'm willing to see that through. What's going to happen? If they fail, what did it cost me? $2,000?
Right.
But if they succeed, what's that going to be worth?
Right.
Right. Yeah. And maybe
Why
it's
would
just
I not try?
and maybe it's just worth the better experience for your people in your gym
Yeah.
if they end up having that. And then
We're
they
going
like
to have
it.
Friday night lights every 3 months. Bring your people down.
Yeah.
Right? Bring them
Yeah.
on over. Let's party.
Yeah.
Joe actually just texted me under the table that he's joining WFP too.
Awesome.
I will say that this conversation has made me feel much more warm to it. I think a lot of us feel that it's just coming in to disrupt CrossFit and disrupt
Right.
the games and disrupt us affiliates. And these are the conversations that I think everyone wants to hear.
I agree.
Is that we just don't know enough yet. And like I said before, people fear what they don't understand. And I think now we have a better understanding. And I think it's more of a partnership than, yeah.
And I think there will be people, if they haven't already commented, that'll go, so what, is the rec league really worth $2,000? And I would say dollar to dollar, no, it absolutely is
Yeah.
not. But we don't know what else is going to happen, right? They have not said they have all the answers. They have not said they have everything fully laid out. Why are you guys all laughing?
I think they're laughing at comments.
I wanna if you don't mind doing like 10, 15 minutes more, I do want to hit like maybe a Q&A or something. if they
Let's
have
go for
questions.
it.
But also too, like you got to look at it like this: if there's somebody that's willing to throw 15 million or however much money it was,
Yeah,
we
I don't know the money.
But if there's somebody that's willing to just like drop that much money, that means that they probably have continuous amounts of money that they're like willing to drop, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
So,
I don't think anybody who spends $15 million
Mm-hmm.
didn't put a lot of thought into that.
Yeah.
If that's the number. Again, I have nothing to do with that. That's
Right.
corporate. That's not me. And I don't need to know.
Yeah.
But if that's the number one, they have it to risk.
Yeah.
Number two, nobody has that money to risk without really putting some thought into it
Mm-hmm.
and being intelligent people.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it.
To be real, just from like, so Ryan owns a successful clothing
Clothing
company,
line.
like a pretty successful clothing company. I don't know how successful, but they've been around for a long time. LRX, if you guys don't know LRX, you probably do know what it is.
Live prescribed.
Yep. So it's a successful clothing company, and then Jason Ansley has been a part of Legends. He's the Monster Games owner, and he's done like multiple other things. He's a really smart dude, successful guy, and
And a good man.
yeah, good man. I mean, yeah, absolutely a good man. I've spent some time with him. So
I mean, there are people just to like really like, why do I care so much about good?
Hmm?
Why did Glassman get outed?
I don't know why. I don't know.
Because people began to think he wasn't a good dude.
Yeah.
Because he said stuff and did stuff, or we were told he said stuff and did stuff that people didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Sure.
Okay? Because people would say, even the people that are pro Glassman
Mm-hmm.
would say, he wasn't a great dude, but he did this.
Yeah.
Right? Mm-hmm. That's not what we're saying about Jason.
Yeah.
That's not what we're saying about Ryan.
Yeah,
Right? That's
yeah,
not
no.
what we're saying about Maggie. So now we have good people that are in this space
Yeah. And they're willing to do something.
and they're willing
Yeah.
to do something and they're willing to put their reputation and what they do on the line for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, sign me up for good character people like that.
Yeah, for sure.
all day long.
Yeah, and logistically too, like Jason looks at everything, bro. I really don't think that they're gonna miss a mark. Like I really don't.
Yep.
What's up? What do you guys think? Should we do a 15-minute Q&A?
We can do whatever
Yeah.
you want.
All right, guys, we're gonna do a 15-minute Q&A. I know that the chat is going wild right now, and you guys probably have a lot of questions or things to say. So why don't we light it up real quick? But be nice. I'm not gonna read any dumb shit, to be honest with you.
You don't have to be nice. I'm a tough chick. Let's go.
Well, I know that, but
One of them that I do like, one of the questions is, do you think CrossFit will go along with like you being like a split affiliate?
I'm gonna reiterate it. Do you think that CrossFit is going to go along with you being a split affiliate?
This is not my first time being a split affiliate, and they've never had a problem in the past. In fact, let's be honest. Do you think I'm a blip on CrossFit's radar? How many affiliates do they have? I'm just another one.
Let's see. Extra Sloppy says, "What's up?" to Joe.
Yeah.
Do you plan on working with the competition side with WFP just like you've done with CrossFit?
Yeah, I've already said that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
going to their events
working
and
their whole 2025 season.
Mm-hmm.
I'm working.
Oh, I got a question about that. What does that look like? Do you have any info on that? Like what the season looks like?
More than what you've seen? No.
No. Okay.
So,
No.
Indiana-
So, 3
Indianapolis,
events.
Phoenix,
Yep. And Copenhagen.
Copenhagen.
Right. So we have the 3 locations. We
Yep.
have the 3 dates.
Yep.
And we have the structure. I know exactly what you know.
Okay.
I don't know anything more.
Yeah.
Have you volunteered for any events yet this year for the game season?
I am, well, no events for the
Yeah,
game
it's
season
Well,
have even happened yet.
Volunteered to come up, like volunteer you're going to do.
But I am going to TFX Invitational. I am going to Syndicate Crown. I have not heard yet about NorCal Classic.
If you're newly into the live stream, we talked about Maggie has done like every event. She goes to every games. She volunteers. She volunteered from 2017 all the way up. She's done Rogue. She's done
If you have
Wadapalooza.
ever watched a behind the scenes,
Maggie's in
you
it.
have seen Maggie.
I'm the chick with the blue hair in
Yeah.
all of the CrossFit movies since
She looks a little different
2017.
now.
Yeah.
I do.
Let's give her some claps for that. She's
Yeah.
looking good. Yeah.
60 pounds heavier and blue hair. That's me.
Dense Updates says they don't see how someone can be convinced to buy in with no tangibles yet from the WFP. So your trust that you've talked about that you've made with Ryan.
100% they don't, but that's what we're doing, right? Like, how do you get the tangibles? By some people saying, okay, I'm willing to gamble on this and let's make tangibles happen.
Yeah.
I'm willing to gamble on it so we can get those tangibles. So after these 50 affiliates, then other people can go, whoa, 2025 was kind of a cool year and they did some cool stuff.
Yeah.
Now I'm willing to buy into that.
What would be like something that would be a non-negotiable for you if they like went back on, or if they ended up doing and you were like, whoa, this wasn't talked about, like I'm done?
If they lie to me,
Okay.
if any of the keyboard warriors that are trashing them, if any of that became true, I would walk in a hot minute, and they all know it.
Cool. Nothing else right now, just a bunch of random comments. Yeah,
Go for it.
Oh boy.
Don't show
Wait, you
me
weren't supposed to
your
come
butt.
in camera, bro.
So
Yeah.
so
Joe, can you scoot in
it's
closer
more
this way?
it's more of a question that like
Thanks.
I was talking about with like Justin earlier and stuff. Like how do you think the WFP is going to be like structured with like workouts and stuff? Is it going to be like a CrossFit event type situation, like where there's 5 different workouts, like how CrossFit style workouts, or are they going to have like their own different style?
She kind of touched that before.
At their 3 events?
Yes.
Oh no, there'll be CrossFit style workouts. I don't have a doubt about that. That's exactly what they're promoting, and they have CrossFit athletes doing it.
Yeah.
So I have zero doubt that that's what that would be like. Yeah, without a doubt. How many and when and all of that, we can all find out later, but they're going to be doing that without a doubt. Otherwise, what are people going to do for 3 days hanging out there?
We'll do one more. Do you think the PFA were in the right to ask Dave to be fired?
No.
Whoa, that's not even about what we're talking
No,
about.
but do you think then there will be some sort of structure like that within WFP?
Structure like what?
The PFA.
Safety?
Mm-hmm.
They have already announced who the safety director is.
Well, they're PFAA, I guess. So who's their
No,
who's their body?
no. World Fitness Project has already announced who the safety director is publicly.
Oh, who is it?
Hicks. And yeah, you can look.
Yeah.
You can find out all about him. He's a phenomenal man. But they've, you know, that's the other thing. Like in full transparency, the world is like, we want to know everything. We want to know everything. So they're posting everything, and people are like, well, we should have known that earlier. Well,
Yeah.
how early? Like,
Yeah, right.
you know, literally, I just signed on with them 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not like this has been a secret thing for months. They needed to build it. They built whatever they built. They started talking to gyms. I signed on 2 weeks ago.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Good luck. Absolutely. I mean, I hope it goes well.
Right.
I think it's gonna be good for both spaces.
And I don't think it's both spaces. I think it's one space. It's just multiple companies. Why is nobody coming down on Wadapalooza for doing 2 events now? Why is this only about World Fitness Project?
It's just because the athletes decided that they don't want to participate in the game season.
But
you know?
how is that
I think
Any
that's being
different.
misinterpreted and misdirected.
right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
go ask the athletes. And again, some of them are doing both.
Yeah.
They
Yeah.
all did
Yep.
not
Yeah.
jump ship.
I think the only one that was alarming isn't the right word, but I feel like Saxon was always very supportive of CrossFit and made it
Still
sound like
is.
no, right. But I think when he was on Saman podcast, he was pretty forward facing about like he's gonna be here to like be a part of the ship and make sure the ship stays on the right path. And then when he went to be essentially that person for the WFP, I think people are again trying to put stakes in the ground and putting this line in the divide. You think his heart is in the same place? He's just trying to do it in a place where he's a different platform.
100%. Like, I was eye to eye with Saxon when I said, I will not leave CrossFit. And he was like, great. You know, they don't need, if they really have the money you guys are all talking about, they don't need my $2,000. And so they could be like, nah, dude, you want to stay CrossFit? I don't want anything to do with you. There are plenty of other gyms that are de-affiliating, never wanted to be CrossFit, just want to be functional fitness. They don't need me.
That's a really good point.
I don't offer a thing for them, really. Like, I don't have a huge following on Instagram. I'm not an influencer. There is nothing I offer them, and there's everything they have the potential to offer me. Like, let's
good point.
just be real. Who am I in this equation?
Well, after this, you
$2,000?
might get like 15 more followers.
Oh, 15. Yay. But, right, like, yeah, you don't, I'm sure I'm not even tagged it. They don't even know who I am because you used a different name.
Yeah. People find you.
Not because it's secret.
Right.
But, I mean, really, I don't have any other way to put it. Saxon doesn't need me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so if Saxon is going absolutely stay CrossFit, Saxon just doesn't want the sport to die.
Yeah.
And people are trying their best to kill it. He is providing another way for affiliates to make money and athletes to make money. And somehow we're shitting on that? I don't get it. Yeah, I cursed twice. Whoa.
Yeah, I truly think it is just because it's like the CrossFit echo chamber. Anything that seems to be a threat is a threat. Kill it. And to me, it's like in every single sport, in every space, there's always competing leagues. Like you said, the UFC earlier, right? Like, yeah, people use those other competing leagues so that they can make money so they can eventually get to the UFC. Like, have you ever seen the life of a fighter, bro? Like, and you got to think about it too. Like, I've known a couple pro fighters in my life. I've known a couple of pros in most sports, actually. And it's a dogfight to the top, dude. So if like these dudes are offered an opportunity, and it screams too that a lot of these people have never actually been around professional athletes, right? When they say this kind of stuff, when you're around professional athletes, their whole life is this thing. It's a dogfight. Not to mention CrossFit, the most fringe sport that there is besides fighting. Like the most fringe thing, you better want them to make money in order to get to the top. Like this WFP could be their stepping stone to get to the games because they get to get around more higher level athletes. They get to compete with those people, see what that feels like. And not to mention, they get paid to do it. Yeah. And now they have an idea of what that feels like to go to that next level. The next season, they might be at the semifinals and they weren't there before. They might be at the games. I don't know how the structure goes, but you guys get what I'm saying. Like, yeah.
They have the opportunity to get better. and make more money. And I mean, I know it's cliche and we've all heard it, but this is just rising tides, right?
Yeah.
And what happens?
Raises all ships.
All ships. So if CrossFit, hi CrossFit, if you're getting a little nervous and like, whoa, they're doing the things that people are wishing we do. So what's that going to make CrossFit do?
Step up their game.
They're going to have to step up their game. I am all for that. I am all for CrossFit continuing to develop.
Yeah.
And I love CrossFit. Them getting better just makes me better.
That'd be like an affiliate opening 2 blocks away and you screaming and crying to HQ that more people's lives are being
Yeah.
changed. I don't like it. No, what do you do?
Hey.
Elevate your business, show that you have value, and do your thing to grow your thing.
And any local affiliate here, I've been to.
Yeah.
That's exactly the truth.
Yeah.
And the ones that want to get nasty competitive with me, I don't know, they're not in existence anymore.
It's hard. It's hard to move forward when you're looking at someone else.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's legit true. There's a gym owner that used to be less than a mile down the road from me that loved to trash me, especially because my background isn't an actual like sport. My background is like professional dance, classically trained dance. Oh, well, she doesn't know anything about fitness. She was a ballerina. You ask any ballerina if they're fit.
Oh, I've trained
Emma
dancers.
Lawson was dance,
Yep.
right?
Yep, Emma Lawson.
She was pretty fit.
Yeah, exactly. And this guy would like call my members and be
Yeah.
like, really, you're putting, she doesn't know a thing about football. She doesn't know a thing about basketball. She doesn't know a thing about sport. And they were like,
Okay.
yeah, and, right? And I don't know, he's out of business. I'm not.
Wasn't, I guess, last little note that I want to add in, wasn't
Yeah, right.
one part of Greg's wasn't part of Greg's thing like self-developing? Wasn't that part of the CrossFit thing?
That's what we were talking about,
Okay.
right?
Yeah.
Play another sport,
Yeah.
learn another thing. He never said you can only do CrossFit and don't you dare go learn soccer.
And what did Greg say when you feel like you've mastered it? Go back and look at the fundamentals.
Yeah, go start again.
So people getting mad, CrossFit just needs to personally develop a little bit more because this thing is happening. I don't know the intricacies of what they do wrong or, or
100%.
good. Yeah.
And CrossFit has developed. Are they perfect? No. But CrossFit 10 years ago literally said, you can use our name. That's all they had to offer. People remember when they didn't even have an affiliate map,
Yeah.
you know? And now there's an affiliate map. And now if you click a button on the affiliate map, you as a
Yeah,
gym
you pop
owner
right
get
up.
notified.
Yep.
And and now they have marketing, and now they have the APN.
Yep.
Is that right?
Affiliate partner network.
There we go.
Toolkit.
So many letters in our industry.
Yeah.
But they have the APN and they have the toolkit. And so, again, are they perfect?
No.
No. Who in CrossFit is looking for perfection? We are not that.
Yeah.
Right? No insult. That's bodybuilding. Bodybuilding is looking for
Yeah.
perfection,
Yeah.
exact muscle, balance, all that stuff. CrossFit has always been down and dirty. It has always been gritty. It has always been, we're going to struggle. And when it's no longer a struggle, we're going to add another struggle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's do that.
Cool. I think that's great. It's a great spot to end. So
Love it.
appreciate it, Maggie. Thanks so much for your time.
Well,
That was awesome.
thank you.
Yeah.
Fun.
That was really good. I think it cleared up a lot of stuff for, I was just curious about what's going on. Clear stuff up for you. Clear stuff up. Yeah. That was cool. So thanks everyone for watching. Appreciate y'all. Hope that you got something out of it. And that's it. Stop arguing with Maggie online.
Peace out.
Peace.
Yeah.
I don't want to be responsible for your stuff.